Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. We're sat at Twickenham Central, and for those that stayed on board for the cab ride at the end of the last episode, you'll have noticed we had a couple of people waiting on P2, which means people do want to already travel all the way to Sandhurst from Twickenham. That's lovely to see. I've had some great advice as well in the comments. And we're going to go and take a look at the city information window, as there's some rather useful data in there that we can utilise. You'll notice we don't have a way for people to get across here. That was pointed out in the comments as well. Thank you, I did forget. While it's not necessary, it's not very realistic, is it? No, so we're going to do that. We're going to spend the money and make sure this is... it looks like it could be used. We'll need coverings, and in fact, since this is... Oh, is it going to be a terminus? Well, it might be a pretty big station by the looks of how Twickenham is growing. Do you know what we've not looked at before we go to the city information? Look at all the high-rises. The natural city growth mod just is too much. I don't think I'll be using that again. This sort of growth is uncalled for. I mean, it's fun, but we will see a little bit of lag in the late game. Well, I mean, you do anyway. We're just going to see more sooner, especially if we're efficient with our deliveries. What is our biggest town? I'm going to assume it's Twickenham. I haven't looked. Yes, it's Twickenham. 550 is the size. In second place, Henley-on-Thames. It's not surprising. Those are the two we are supplying public transport to. And tends to give them a boost. You'll notice that Mablethorpe and Sutton and Loughton are lagging behind, even though we are supplying them with fuel there. I have noticed, and I don't know if this is part of the mod balancing. Why has it got 699? What's going on there? But if we look in here, size 550. Okay, one of these mods is a little broken. So we're going to have to not rely on that. That makes a lot of sense, actually, because we're going to have a look at the destinations tab. Now, if you've got the context help open, this is a great bit of wording. And a tab also shows where the inhabitants go to work and shop. A tab. Pick your tab. It's possibly destinations, though. But yes, this number here, I never really understood this, or pretty much ignored it. I always thought it was how much access there is. But what it actually is how many people are travelling to commerce districts and industry districts. So for shopping and for work, as well as your line usage for that. So people going to Henley, 186 a year. I'm going to assume it's yearly. 185, 200, oh, it's just dropped and dropped again. Maybe it's similar to that layer, but in figure form. Maybe. And it might be while they're in the entire journey. I'm pretty sure the layer cuts off as soon as they get to their destination and doesn't trigger again until they come back. We'll have to toy with that. But yes, so 231 are working in Henley from Twickenham. And then 180 whatever are shopping there, and they're all using our lines, which is a little obvious as we don't have a connecting road. However, Hyde, which is just, where is it? Just down here, isn't it? That's Hyde over there. We do have 49 people shopping in Hyde and 43 going to work. 0% usage because they're using the little B road as it currently is, or dirt road. Then we come down to Sandhurst, and you'll see there are 43 people already tagged to go shopping in Sandhurst from Twickenham, as well as 18 people to go working there. And Twickenham, these are your local people. They're staying in Twickenham to do their shopping and working in their home city. Worthing as well is another one. We do have an actual connection via road to Worthing. You'll see it there going across the river and then up to Worthing there. So yeah, this is a brilliant tab. I do want to thank you in the comments for that. I completely dismiss this as just being more random information, but it does have a purpose, if not very descriptive, especially in the context help. But I'm sure we can work it out. It's probably current, I'm going to assume. I don't know, it fluctuates too much. But then buildings are upgrading all the time. And they do change, don't they? They do change their favoured shopping venue and where they work. So, yeah, they could fluctuate. It doesn't fluctuate as much as the overlay layer. But anyway, yeah, look at that chart. Isn't that wonderful? We have a different crocodile, and one that is useful early on. Yeah, this is definitely useful early on. Especially while our freight wagons have a maximum speed of 50. We might be able to pull these a little easier. I don't know what the line rates were when we left. Look at that on the coal. 800. It would seem a shame to get rid of that one. We might swap Twickenham over from that to the slower, beefier train, because we've got to get up to speed within a much shorter distance. So a bit more grunt from the German crocodile might help us out there. In fact, when we drop off, since we are on the way there, we'll do that. And we're going to take another look at what our cities are doing and whether we're going to get visitors from Henley to Sandhurst and vice versa. Right, here we go. Let's get this train in. We're going to get the big German crocodile on. And we should maybe make up the extra 30 required there. Let's take a look. What do we got here? Let's just go to electric. It'll be easier. 56 miles an hour, so it's still above the 50. We'll get full income from our goods. Power, 4,000, a little over, versus quite a bit under. It's almost 1,000 difference. Goodness me. Tractive effort, while not extremely important in Transport Fever, it does play a role in getting off the mark. So the sooner you can transition to power, the better. And we don't mind about the top speed because we're capped by our cargo there. Yeah, I think that's probably worth doing because this is struggling a little bit to get going at any reasonable rate. So we're going to swap this over. What's the running cost? It's going to be quite beefy, the running cost difference. Well, it's not too bad actually. Only about 1.5 million. Right then, let's get you swapped over. We'll see what that does for our line rate. We won't see it much at the moment as we've just changed the loco. That tends not to trigger too much of a calculation change. But once we've done a little run, we're going to have a look at it, aren't we? Maybe we should yeah, get on like that. There we go. A crocodile that isn't ruined by the calculations for deliveries. That is a monster, isn't it? Lovely. Is that just full of motors? Probably, given all the power. There we go. Right. Let's see what it says on our line rate once you get in. Or can we move that to the side? You can move that to the side. Oh, I never knew that. There you go. Can we shrink that as well? That's beautiful. Perfect. Let's see what you do. We're going to have to look down anyway. What's that going to do for our line rate? I don't think we're going to see too much of a change until we actually do a full run carrying a full load. Let's see what the scores on the doors are now for our beefier loco. It's not going to make up 30. That's what I'm assuming anyway. It might. It might. We are meeting the steel demand at the moment though. 204. That is absolutely perfect. 806. Gained 36 line rate for about a little less than 1,000 power. Do you know what I never looked at either? What's the weight difference? What are we guessing? Did anybody notice? If you didn't notice, like me, or didn't pay attention, What is your guess, guys? Let's do it. Is the AE-47 heavier than the BRE 94? It is a crocodile, right? This one? German crocodile. Yeah, there we go. So the weight of this one, 119 tons. Higher or lower than 119 tons? I'm going to say lower. I think this is a fast express. I am wrong. Who else was wrong? Oh, that caught me out. I honestly thought that would have been nippier and lighter. I guess it's not an express, is it? No. I think it can be everything and anything. Maybe more express freight looking at it. But, yeah. Wow. That surprised me. So not only did we gain extra power, we also gained a little bit of weight. Well, no, we lost some weight, didn't we? We shed some weight. Yes, we've been on a diet. What we got there? It's only 2 tons, isn't it? Yeah, it's only 2 tons. But 2 tons is 2 tons. Lovely. What's that? A fifth of a wagon. It doesn't sound too impressive when you say it like that. I can't believe we met the line rate there. That is lovely. In fact, 826, guys. 500. 500. Rein that in, Grand. Not 500. 50. 56, right? Yeah, we were at 770, so 56 line rate we gained. We might be able to lose a wagon. It'll be even nippier. Well, Mr. German Crocodile, you are mightily impressive. We could do the same over here, I guess, but since that one's balanced absolutely perfectly at 800, it seems a little silly to break that up. So yeah, we've got some variety on here. In fact, we've still got a steam train. Do you know, since we're over here, before we go and check up on the state of play with our express line, it looks like things may have changed. Consumers. Shipping. We've increased our slag production. That is absolutely lovely. Since we were at, what, 200 and something here? Oh, sorry, 200. 107, and now we're up to 200. We can safely assume that doubling the length of this will give us the 200 line rate. I'm going to do it now because money isn't an issue. And then we can move on and keep an eye on our... should we colour these? Yeah, colour them that colour. I mean, it's roughly the same colour, but it'll be a little bit different. Yeah, then we can go and take a look at our express line and see how Sandhurst is doing. We do need to check on everything else as well. That should give us about 200. Yeah, perfect. We'll come back and check that. That's even more profit for us. Ooh, guys, we are indeed very popular down here. It's starting to get to the point where we may need a little bus service coming from this end. Just a small one, even going all the way to the station, which will split this stop up. But before we do that, we are... Do you remember back when I said I'm not in it to make money on these? Well, we're making a profit, and it did make me grin, exactly as I predicted. Lovely. It's not how they're supposed to work for me, but I'll absolutely take it. Right, anyway, what are you doing, Grand? We're going to stick... do you know, I'm just going to throw 2 more on. It's not all that. I'm going to stick 2 more on there. 6 will be absolutely fine. We've got a line rate of 265, but if we come over here, we've got a line rate of 177 on our local service, I'd call that. And then our express service is another 33 on top, which gives us 200. And this is just the start. So we do need a little bit of headroom here. And we have gotten a little bit behind. It's going to take a little while for that to filter down. Because obviously what's happening is we're full before we even get to this stop. No need to panic, really. It's just I wasn't paying attention to it for a while. And to be fair, it doesn't normally happen that quickly. Again, I'm going to assume it's something to do with the mod. 125 million in the bank. Isn't that beautiful? We're nearly in 1939. We might need to slow the game down soon. It's a little bit quick, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, we've got a new bus. Look at that. It might be worth putting it on. There we go. Yes, this is full. It might not be the case going back, though. This is where things might get a little bit lopsided. And we may be better running another train from here to Sandhurst. We are going to try the stopping service versus express, where our express will skip stations. Are we Goodness me, that was fast. What are we looking at over here? Have we got people? Well, we won't know because it's been gone ages. Dear oh dear. Guys, that's impressive, isn't it? Safe to say, we're going to get busy. Let's take a look at Sandhurst. We probably need 2 trains on this sooner rather than later. Destinations. And we've only got 1 tram on here. Quick, sort that out first. We're going to get at least another one. Yeah, look at the... Goodness me. I wasn't talking that much, was I? Maybe. Where we got? We've got 10 and 18. So 28 people are travelling to Henley from here, meaning they have to go all the way to Twickenham, change trains, and then head back along the line to Henley, which does happen in real life. I've known many a journey where I've had to backtrack on a train because it's just not easy to get there. But that's wonderful news, isn't it? Beautiful. And I guess we can take a look at Henley and destinations on Henley. How many people want to go to Sandhurst? What is that, 73? 73 people. Well, that answered that, didn't it? We will need another carriage on here. We're going to need way more trams on here. Otherwise, we're not getting our people to the station soon enough. In fact, let's do it. We're just going to go straight with 4. Why not? Get those people shifted. I don't think they're going to beat our train. Where is our train? Our train is just coming through the cutting. Just crossed the bridge. Oh, look at you go. You're going to be quite a bit bigger. Pretty rapidly. You're going to need to carry way more than 33, aren't you? Yeah, we can take a look at the layers, can't we? Oh, where are we? Destination layer. Is that the one? Yeah, 92 already. That is in both directions, though. Yeah, and this is filling up now. This is filling up. 28. They've built an interesting road here. Oh, I removed the tram lines down here because we don't use them. They look a little bit better. I'm not sure on this at the moment. We may encourage them to build it differently by doing a little bulldozing or perhaps even owning the road. But yeah, it's not too bad, is it? I like this. I like this layout. I think it might get quite busy. We may have bridges going across. I don't know which way they're really going to go. We're on the edge of town, so they might fill out that way and we'll scoot past and head up to... where are we going to end here? I feel like we skip Bradford and have a branch line going there and possibly have something fancy over here. I would like to do something with food for Risborough early on. We've got fish here, and it takes 2 fish to make some meat products. Fish. We've also got coffee production here with a plantation or a farm over there. And if we scroll all the way up a little bit, we've got something that takes both coffee and meat to produce 2 food. So we could produce half of it with fish, go and take half of this coffee, drop that off at the same platform, and then have that train, or a train, continue that way. Possibly this one. I feel like that would be all boxcars. So yes, that would be full, except for its little return journey up to the fishery there, inland fishery. Is that a thing? I don't think it is, but we'll take it. We could move it, of course. Anyway, yes. Our planes are all bunched up at the moment. I don't know whether they're actually going to change that. Sandhurst. Our train's on the way back. It wasn't worth doing it until it gets to Twickenham, because we haven't got nearly enough people on board to justify it. But as you can see, people wanting to go on the Twickenham to Sandhurst Express. 32 already, and our train is miles away, isn't it? Yeah, I think we're just going over towards the river, the second bridge. And pause you, manage vehicle. We are going to throw on 3 more. I think that'll do us then, passenger wagons. 1, 2, 3, take us to 100. Perhaps that'll be enough. There is the possibility that some of these missed the previous journey, which it could be a thing. Really? Did you leave people on the platform? 7 people? No. Oh, not far enough. It has to go past halfway, which I think is where that door is. There we go. Go and pick those people up, driver. What are you doing? I mean, you could have reversed in, technically. That would have meant we had to take the logo off all the way up there and put it on the other end. That's not how that would have been done. There we go. Now you got the full amount of people. It seemed a bit of a waste. We didn't do it quite right, or soon enough. It didn't account for the people on the platform. What are we doing there? Oh, it looks busier than it actually is. Are you already on the way back? No, that's the slag train. There's no people on the slag train. Oh, you just left. Do we have people on the platform? 2, they might have just got there. Oh, actually, not worth doing. There we go. There we go. We will add another one on here, I think. It'll take us to... Ooh, 7. What do you like? Well, you are supposed to be a kind of a slow stopper. We're not quite in the territory, are we, where we can justify 2 trains. We sort of can. Maybe when we go to 7, and when at the point where we've got to go to 8, a loco and 4 carriages, 2 of them, might be better than 1 train with 8 carriages on. Especially for the stopping service. Not so much for the express, because it's quite a long journey. So we've got very busy here. And we could quite easily provide a bus service here, which would split them. If we take a look at the, not that layer, wrong traffic layer, this one. People are coming from up here, but it's only 1 at the moment. But there's the odd 1 or 2 people walking. There's 1 person who's walking. Lovely. Oh, these people are all walking, aren't they? The blues. Yeah, that's private. Ignore the blues. We just need to look at the greens. Wait, that doesn't make sense. What are they doing? They going to work? I think so. We need to look at people that are heading to, say, Twickenham. People heading to Twickenham. It's not showing anybody actually where they come from. That's fine. I don't think it does show you that, does it? It just shows you what the nearest stop is. Unless it is them walking to the bus stop, the ones in blue. But I don't think so. It's probably people walking to work. How are we done here? Have we just managed this? I think we're just a little bit behind. Yeah, there we go. Lovely. Oh, more than enough room. That'll give us a bit of headroom for when this train is going to make us a fortune now. Did you really make a profit? I mean, it's not brilliant, but you did make a profit on the 3rd year. The 1st year, we weren't taking many people. But there you go, guys. Already making a profit. That was with the 40 capacity. And now we're up to 100 capacity and we're already taking, what, 85? Pleasant. What about the finances for our stopping service? That's pleasant. That's just nice, isn't it? You can see where we added the other wagon. Right, you're coming in. You're not full, but you are going to need another carriage on there. If we don't see to these people, then firstly, they're not going to be impressed with us, but It's all about getting them shifted, isn't it? And not leaving any behind. So the sooner we get them shifted, the sooner they're then getting off at Henley, doing all their lovely there, using our tram service or going to work, and then coming back again. So the quicker we can do that, the better. Right, in comes our train. Did I forget to do anything today? I don't think so. It had to be monitoring this and seeing what sort of expansion we've got on the cards. And in comes our train. Once we've been paid and he's dropped off his passengers, we're going to stop it on here, I think. Let everybody get off. Possibly look at a bus service here. I don't know now though, because we're on top of it. We could try the pause trick here. Oh, stop it there. Manage vehicle. Let's get another wagon on there. That'll take us to 140. Yeah, 140 capacity. And there we go. That's a beefy passenger train now, as long as the platform. Maybe a little longer. Not too much longer though. These have 2 doors on them anyway, don't they? One at the back that at least has steps on. And then one up there. Yeah, just don't get on that back one. Be fine. Right. Perfect. I was deciding whether I wanted to build an extra platform. I don't think so yet. And it would possibly go that way. This is more than likely going to be a through station and meet up with the other main line. Did we still not take everybody? Goodness me. Maybe we're at that time, guys. Maybe it's time to have these two, or this train, split up into 2. Let's just take a look at the details. What are we looking here? It doesn't take overly long. 121 seconds isn't too bad. That is, what, 2 months, though, to get up to speed? And how long's the journey? We can have a look at the frequencies. Well, the frequency for Henley to Twickenham is 9 minutes versus 23 minutes for Twickenham to Sandhu. To Sandhurst there, because I shrunk it, I think. Yeah, there we go. So there you go. It takes for our stopping service to do its full journey, so 4.5 months there and back, and about a year there and back for Twickenham to Sandhurst. 2-year journey total. Goodness me. Yes, it's looking like at least this stretch we need to double track or quad track. We could try it so I can show you the signalling as double track, because we can just branch off here and share the line again. We'll need either a diamond or a staggered crossover here for both directions. We'll go with a diamond. Do we do it? I think we need to, don't we? I think we need to split this up, yeah. Right then. Pause that. We're going to have to do this. I hope you don't lose our customers. That'll be very sad. One thing we don't need is electricity yet on the line. I don't think we're going to be able to get this very quick. 60 is about the best we could do. We could have a 75-mile-an-hour one. Do you know what? I'd love it. Because the way Transport Fever's default braking works, they brake at the last minute. So I'd prefer not to lose any speed coming into the platform, to be absolutely on top of it and the most efficient. We could make that a double slip switch. Absolutely pointless. Up here, however, we only need a single crossover, as currently we're just going to be stopping here. So we might be able to get... Ooh, can we get a 75 there? It would be lovely if we could. It's a bit rough because we're on a corner. I would like it to be 75 though. If we can... Aha! There we go. We got it, guys. The crossover looks pleasant. So, signalling. We need a bit of signalling, don't we? Currently... we know we will need a double crossover. Yes, grand. Because the other one needs to get over to there. And we definitely don't want the express slowing down, do we? Currently, that's the way we're doing it, because we're not going to double track the express line just yet. We will do, but we might as well do it a step at a time. See how it all goes. We've started out with our light signals here rather than semaphores. We missed that because we didn't need it. So I'm going to go one way, which means it forces the line's hands. If I bring the lines up here while we're doing this and I'll pin them, hopefully I can still build with those pinned, and you can see in real time what the signals do as I place them. I know many of you know how signals work, but there's still some people out there who do trip over signalling, and it's understandable. It's a little bit of an enigma until you figure it out. I remember those days. It was a long time ago when I figured them out, but when I did, it was like an epiphany. Sort of. But anyway, yes. There we go. We're forcing this line here the way the arrow is facing. So we're going that way. Anything coming this way cannot go past this signal, so what it will do is route down there. If we don't have the option to route down there, it will break all your lines. We've now blocked that off, and now similarly at the other end, since I think we're heading back, yes, we're heading back that way. We're not going to put any blocking in just yet. We will need to, as there's the potential for them to follow each other. Now we're going to do on the opposite side here another one-way signal, so that it forces the double track to be one way. Oh yes, let's bring up the line for you again so you can see what it does. This one's going to be a little bit more apparent on what goes on, and we'll look down like that, and you'll see the line switch into a one-way system when we place this in. There we go. Now we've separated our two-track system into two one-way tracks. This one heading that way where the arrow is pointing, and this one heading that way. That is pretty much how signalling works. You don't need a clearing signal off any junctions most of the time. That would be something for more advanced stuff. There are some calls for shorter signals, especially after certain junctions, but it's only to free trains sooner. In a normal setup like this, you don't need them. We can have a two-way signal here. There are signals, I believe, still at the end of stations, two-way signals. You don't technically have to put them in, but for looks, why not? These need to be two-way because you need to allow trains to move against the arrow, so in the other direction. These two signals are controlling this entire diamond here, this entire crossover that we've got. Diamond because of the diamond shape in the middle. So yes, these two signals are controlling the stopping service more than the express. We'd have to put, I might put a signal down here, a two-way signal for the express. If I don't put a signal somewhere on this line for the express, and the express, wherever you are, just here, heads out that way. In fact, we might be able to, I might be able to show you this. How many people are waiting here? Goodness me. We're going to need a bigger express, guys. But yeah, I might be able to demonstrate this with the signalling for you. It'll be fine while it's in here. It would free the stopping service. But if this enters this track, this entire block is huge. Stop you a second. We're going to need more. Manage. Get another couple on. No, that should do, shouldn't it? There we go. Right. Get you back loading. If you don't fill up, it's fine. We'll just let you go. We'll be absolutely fine. There you are loading. 116 people. What's your finances like now? Pleasant. There we go. Oh, it's perfect. Right, yes. Our train has stopped at the invisible signal at the end of the platform. As I just mentioned, I've paused it because if we go up here, our train this one is currently on the one-way line heading this way, but there's nothing to break this train running this way at the moment because we don't have the we don't have blocking spacing signals out. And what's happened is, for this express line, all of this is a single block that would be reserved for the express all the way, given how our signaling is currently, all the way to this signal, because we've got the invisible signal at the end of Sandhurst and then we've got the actual signal here. So this is all one block for the express line that this train, the commuter, will leave once it heads into the station, and it will free this from Sandhurst, which we're going to demonstrate. This isn't ideal, but for science, I'll show you anyway if you're a little unsure how things work. And then we'll add our signal and then some more blocking, because we're going to be blocking a lot. This train is occupying that entire block between Sandhurst and Twickenham. The first or the last signal. It will be eventually. As soon as we... In fact, pause that. Train 11. Is this the other one? Yeah. What will happen is, I think it's as soon as it passes, its back end passes somewhere around here, it will free the block. But then what will happen is the express line will reserve this piece of track here and will not let this out the station because it is the expresses. There we go. We're back end just past, or just cleared somewhere around here. It's not the neatest, which is why usually for realism, place your signals a little further away because it will release them really quickly. But this train will not, train 10, our stopper, will not leave now because our express service, get you over there, our express service has reserved the track. I will not go over this too much every time, but as a first time for signalling, why not? And you are now going to stop at our signal. There we go. And there he is, our express train has reserved this entire block for itself and stopped this one from leaving the station. However, since this is an express, I would like this a little further back, maybe just before the junctions here, so it's got a chance to, or maybe there. So it's got a chance to have a run up. It's going to be a lot different than this eventually. It needs to be two-way. But you'll see it will free our train as soon as I put this signal in, as we've created yet another block. And there goes our stopping service. And we'll come to a stop at that signal if we don't add any blocking on our commuter part here. I mean, we've only got one train running this, but we're definitely going to need them. Fortunately, our express and our stoppers both run at the same speed. So there's not really any need to separate them. It will occasionally cause interruption as one waits for another, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. It does slow your line rate down just a touch. There we go. Right, yeah. And we'd need some blocking now. Otherwise we're going to get held up. We might make it there in time. Where's about halfway? We're going to do some serious signal work here. I don't always space them the same. We're going to have these one way. They don't need to be technically because we've got two other signals that are dictating that these two tracks are one way anyway. That there should do. I'll have another one there and there. This is creating more blocks. As you'll see here, we've only occupied this block, meaning our express can run up to that signal just here. This one just here. And wait for our passenger service to leave the block, which will be once its back end clears this signal. And then our passenger service will then claim this block, which we can split in two, which is that signal, signal 2 to signal 1. We are going to add another couple here. I'll go away and add all these in. I'm going to have possibly shorter signals or smaller blocks near stations where we're slowing down so that trains move a little smoother. And I mean, in real life you would have them like that anyway, because trains are moving slower, meaning you can have smaller blocks. At high speed sections you would have them spaced further apart because you need longer to react. You'll see we'll come through this signal because there are many blocks ahead of us now. There we go, we've got the green light. And away we go. It should be quite pleasant. Sure. Oh, look at the time. Guys, I got carried away just a little bit there. I'm going to pause it. There's technically not really enough blocking to double this up, and would cause a little bit too much disruption. So we're going to add another couple in between each ones. And even here, I'm going to add maybe 2. I'll have one close. I may adjust this. I'll have one quite close and then one between the 2. Yes, and then one close here. And then we'll take a look at that when we come back, just to show you what I mean. But I think we get on our Express now. I'm going to save it there. Alright guys, that was an episode. A little bit of an explanation about some tabs in our cities. And our first bit of signalling is up and running. We'll finish, or I'll finish off the spacing of it and show you what that is like at the beginning of the next episode. And then I think we double up on our commuter. And then we probably start thinking about doubling up on our express, which means this whole layout will have to change again. But I thought it would be interesting to show you the signalling required to bring a bi-directional track into a one-way system like this, and it's worked out rather nice. The blocking will be better at the beginning of the next episode, and then we'll start thinking about setting up that food run we spoke about at the beginning. I like that idea. Right guys, I'll leave you on board our one-way system here, heading up to Twickenham with 116 people that have travelled all the way from Sandhurst. Where they're going, we could find out next time out as well, because we can take a look at the platforms and see where people have tickets for. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.